Hey everybody! You know, they say a fool and his money are soon parted, and to that I say, because I just picked up another 40 packs in Hearthstone. Sucks to your ass, Mar. Let's open up some packs here. I'm addicted. That's all there is to say about this. I'm gonna do the same thing I did in the last episode. Don't vibrate at me like you know that I want to open. You know that I know that you know that I want you to be opened, but we're gonna have to wait a second here because I'm gonna keep track of how many rares, how many epics, and how many legendaries we get, and how many goldens we get, and which kind they are. So we're looking for golden legendaries, obviously. I could brand this, you know, the hunt for golden legendaries, but instead, why don't we just see what we get? And, you know, again, hoping for legendaries, hoping for some awesome hunter cards. The common that I want, I think it's a common, it might be a rare, is the hunter, Scavenging Hyena, which I need for my hunter deck because it's such a great beast card, and gets buffs for every beast that gets killed, I think, but I do not have it in my actual collection of cards, which is goddamn crazy. So, first one, I'm not going to talk about every single one of these that we get here, because you've probably seen a lot of these so far. A couple of mage secrets, which is cool. Maybe I can build a secret mage deck at some point, and we got ancient mage as well, but relatively, you know, non-eventful opening to the first set of packs here. And we'll mouse over. You gotta make an event out of each one of these, even though there's 40 of them. You know, you want to see how many rares you got, how many epics if you got a legendary, and then you flip over the common ones really quickly to see if you get like a golden. That's my philosophy anyway. So we get Knife Juggler, love that card. I think I only have one of them, so getting a second one is awesome. And a golden rare. Unfortunately, it is one of the worst rares in the game, Ancient Watcher. Now, the reason Ancient Watcher is so bad is because it can't attack. So, 2 mana, 4/5, that's pretty sweet, right? Except, you know, can't attack. So if something attacks it, I think it does damage, but otherwise it just kind of sits there on the field. But if you can silence it, then you can get some value out of it. So I have one of the worst golden cards in the game. Beautiful! That's okay, though. That is, I'll mark that under rare and under golden as well. Let's see what we've got in pack number 3. It's a good start. You know, I'm not a great Hearthstone player, so I love getting those kind of dubious cards. Like Leroy Jenkins is another one. Can be good in some situations, but the way I play, not really. So the fact that that was like my golden legendary that I got in my first 40 packs is hilarious. I like Argent Protector. I already have a golden Tauren Warrior, so I'll probably be able to disenchant this. Ravenhold Assassin, one of my least favorite 7 mana cards, but you know, shit happens. We already have a few of those as well. Please give me some epics here. Or legendaries, you know, I'm not picky. Seems like we've got 4 common. And I believe I have all of those. Cone of Cold, really useful though. And Armor Smith, you know, it's a really good card to build out a warrior deck with, in my opinion. Whenever a friendly minion takes damage, gain 1 armor. A 4 health, 2 mana drop is very difficult to take out right off the bat. Obviously low attack is annoying, but it does buff up your hero. I've never really built a constructed warrior deck. I'm trying to get more into constructed, which is why I'm opening an F-ton of packs right now. Oh, there's an epic in this one. So if I'm correct, this is the 5th pack, and we've already had 5 rares. Okay, maybe 6. The stats might not be 100% reliable, is what I'm getting at here. So, the commons. Oh, there was actually a rare in there as well. I didn't notice. Upgrade. If you have a weapon, give it a +1/+1. Otherwise, give it, otherwise get a 1/3 weapon. Sure, that's like our 3rd Argent Protector already. Our rare is Explosive Shot, which is a very good card. I think I only have one of those in my deck. And any Hunter rares that I get are good, because I'm going to be focusing on the Hunter class, probably. Our epic is a Rogue Patient Assassin. It's alright, I think. Basically, for 2 mana, you can destroy any other minion, which is good. Apart from that, it's not great. But yeah, it's pretty good. You can sit around on it for as long as you want. I haven't played Rogue very much since the nerf that happened after the, or I guess, coinciding with the wipe, so I need to spend some more time with the Rogue. I love Inner Fire. I think I only had one of those, so getting a second one's pretty valuable. And Light Warden, you know, whenever a character is healed, gain +2 attack. Also pretty good in a priest deck, so this, you know, we're getting some priest cards here. As you can see, we got 4 of them out of this, you know, 5-card pack. Temple Enforcer is pretty good. Light Spawn can be interesting. We still are not even 25% of the way done. I love opening 40 packs. Opening 1 pack, it's just like a tease, you know? Like, oh, we got a Golden Hunter Secret Snipe. When your opponent plays a minion, deal 4 damage to it. Can be good in some situations. So we have another golden common, which I'll write down here. And I can't remember. I think this is our 9th rare. This one should be. And it's Crazed Alchemist. I like it. For all classes, you can swap the attack and health of a minion. Maybe not my favorite 2 mana drop, but it can be pretty useful. And we'll continue onwards. But what I was getting at before is that, you know, it's like being a drug addict, I assume. Opening one pack just doesn't give you that buzz. It just gives you like a quick hit, but you really want to get in like a binge opening, even though it sucks up all of your money. Lava Burst is a very good card in my opinion for a Shaman deck, which I am trying to play more of. Shaman has tons of like just do X damage cards or do X damage to Y number of enemies, and those are all very, very nice in my opinion. Let's pop these bad boys open. Sure, I like Defias Ringleader. I didn't have it. I like Battle Rage. I didn't have it. Anytime I can get another Ironbeak Owl is pretty useful. Can fit in some decks, although Spellbreaker I think is kind of pushing the Ironbeak Owl out of the meta a little bit, from what I understand of the meta at least. And we get another SI7 Agent, which is apparently one of the more valuable rare cards. It doesn't show up all that often apparently, so that's the second one for me. I'm happy to have it. Okay, so this is going to be the 25% of the way through mark. Can't afford to spend too much time here on every single one. Another Defias Ringleader. I believe I didn't have any, so the ability to get some more here is pretty good. Defias Ringleader, it's still pretty good because you can still coin for the combo, so on turn 2 you can summon basically 4-3, a 2-2 and a 2-1, which is pretty nuts. Our rare here is Mind Control Tech. Can be very useful. Gives us control of an enemy minion if there's more than 4. Or sorry, 4 or more, which is actually a pretty important distinction. Can be useful. I haven't really built a deck that utilized it very effectively. Okay, now, this is goddamn ridiculous. Like, the Defias Ringleader is Defias Ringleadering my packs now. Every time we open a pack, we get one more Defias Ringleader. This is our pack, scrub! What about this one? Nourish. Gain 2 mana crystals or draw 3 cards. That is pretty nice. Maybe. Here's the reason that I'm flip-flopping on this card. You need to be on turn 5 or turn 4 with a coin to play this. On turn 5, is it really worth spending 5 mana to gain 2 mana crystals? That's going to lose you a lot of momentum. And is 5 plus a card really worth drawing 3 cards? Or is it really worth drawing 3 cards for 5 plus a card? It might be. Compare this to something like Battle Rage, though, and Nourish maybe is not so good. But, you know, we'll talk about how to fit that into a deck, maybe, at some point. I think I've already lost count of my rares. We've gotten, like, no legendaries. Okay, we got 2 rares in this one. I'll mark those down. I like Earthshock. I hate Shieldbearer, and already have a golden one of those, continuing the trend of getting golden cards I don't like. Slam can be useful. We have a golden rare Savannah Highmane. That is actually awesome. It's also a hunter card, and it's a very good hunter card, in my opinion. 6 mana for a 6/5 with a death rattle that gives you basically 4/4. Very good, and getting a golden one of those, quite nice. And then we get Flare as well, which is a hunter secret, which is mostly, sometimes you can use this for stealth and like dispelling enemy secrets, so it's pretty good against a mage deck because of the secret potential. There are other classes that play secrets, but mage secrets seem to be kind of a flavor of the month. And 1 mana to draw 1 card is not so bad. It's kind of like a shittier version of tracking, plus it has other benefits that could be important later, but not right now. So, that's cool. We got our 3rd rare, and it was a golden... Or, sorry, our 3rd legendary, and it was... No, what am I talking about? We got our 3rd golden, and it was a rare, which is nice. Apologies for the coffee maker. So we do have an epic in here. We have another Defias Ringleader, which at this point is just goddamn comical. Repentance. When your opponent plays a minion, reduce its health to 1. That could be very useful if you can bait out a very good minion and then reduce its health to 1. This is our rare. And it is Murloc Tidecaller. I really should build a Murloc deck at some point. I think I have all the Murloc cards at this point. And we have an epic Cabal Shadow Priest. Shadow Priest. Take control of an enemy minion that has 2 or less attack. Doesn't seem that great. But it can help us get some board control. What's really good about this, of course, is if our opponent has like a couple of shitty minions on the board, then we play Cabal Shadow Priest. We take control of one of the minions that has 2 or less attack. And then we use that to kill the other minion on their side of the field, and then we have total board control. That's interesting. I've never seen that card, but I've never had that card before, never played it before, so maybe I'll be able to use that at some point. So we'll open up the commons here. Naturalize is a weird one. Young Dragonhawk is a card that I would love to get some more value out of. Spellbreaker's already awesome, but I have so many of them. Cone of Cold is awesome as well. And our rare is Felguard. Destroy one of your own mana crystals when it comes out, but it's a 3/5 for 3 mana. That has Taunt. Compare this to a 4 mana, Sen'jin Shieldmaster. That is a 3/5 with Taunt without the Battle Cry. I kind of don't like Felguard here, but it's a demon, so maybe we can make some weird stuff happen there. I don't know. Again, I'm talking out of my ass. I'm not the right guy to make like a tier list of cards for Constructed. This is just my thoughts on these so far, and, you know. Oh, shit! That legendary came out of nowhere. I didn't even realize. Okay, so this is a legendary. Ragnaros the Fire Lord. Can't attack. At the end of your turn, deal 8 damage to a random enemy. Okay, so it's like an Ancient Watcher, and then it does 8 damage per turn. That's a weird one. I kind of like that it's RNG because that's how I play, and it makes things very silly. But I'm happy to get a legendary regardless. We'll see if I can build a deck around this at some point. And our rare is Defender of Argus. Pretty good card. I think I only had one of them. Can be a pretty good card. Can also be a pretty shitty card depending on how your board's looking. But I'll try to talk a little bit more about what some of the cards actually do, by the way. Dark Iron Dwarf is fantastic. Basically 4 for a 4/4 plus the battle cry is amazing. Apologies for saying 4/4/4 so many times. Holy Fire. Deal 5 damage, restore 5 health to your hero. 6 mana for 5 damage and 5 health. I don't think it's particularly strong, but you know, it's okay. We are approaching the halfway point here, which is good. We have 1 legendary. Obviously, I'd love to get some more, and a golden legendary is kind of like the be-all, end-all. Silence for 0 mana is nice. Blessing of Wisdom can be pretty good as well. Silverhand Knight's very good. I think I already have 2 of them, though, which is the most that you can put in a constructed deck. And I definitely already have 2 explosive shots, so that one is probably going to get disenchanted. But, you know, more Arcane Dust, I can eventually construct some cards that I want. Where's the... There we got 1 rare. And a golden? No. What's our rare, at least? Ethereal Arcanist. It's a really good card for a Mage Secret deck. If you control a secret at the end of your turn, gain +2/+2. I haven't built a Mage Secret deck. We probably have enough cards to do it at this point. You know, you do get 200 cards every single time you buy one of these 40 packs, so that's like 400 cards that I've gotten. If I haven't unlocked most of the cards in the game, I would be surprised. Well, most of the non-legendaries, at least. So, of course, we've seen many of these before, including Ancient Mage, and our epic card is Pit Lord, which I already have, and... Or I might not have it, I might have used it in my arena deck, but I hate it, for the most part. But 4 mana for a 5/6 is pretty good if you draw it early. If you draw it late, you know, using it might kill yourself, especially since the Warlock's hero power actually does damage to himself. So Warlocks tend to rush themselves down a little bit to get a card advantage, and then, hopefully, you know, pull it out later. So we got some pirate cards that we could use for a pirate deck. Forked Lightning is a crazy good card. Our epic card is Mind Games. Put a copy of a random minion from your opponent's deck into the battlefield. Okay, I like that a lot. That is a priest card. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. So that could be really good on the 4th turn, or terrible. You know, there is RNG associated with it. I've got to build like a really good priest deck. They're also like very flavor of the month right now. Lava Burst, great card. Already have at least 1 of them, but the second one doesn't necessarily hurt. Come on, give me at least 1 more legendary. 1 legendary in 40 packs is probably the norm, but I would love to hit a little bit above my weight class. Are you serious here? Defias Ringleader? Holy shit. Arcane Golem. We've seen this card many times. It is charge, and it has a battle cry that destroys one of your own... Or, sorry, not effectively, I guess it's similar, but it gives your opponent a mana crystal, which I really dislike. But I think maybe that card needs to be buffed a bit. Like for 3 mana, charge 4/2. That's not that much better than a Wolf Rider, which is 3/1 charge. And it gives your opponent too much of an advantage, I think, as time goes on. Another Defias Ringleader, you've got to be goddamn kidding me. And another Nourish card. I mean, that's nice because I think that's only the second one of those that I've gotten, so it's not, you know, completely redundant yet. And... okay, we got an epic and a rare here, so I'll mark those down. And I'll give you the stats at the end, of course. Fairy Dragon, good card. I already have several. Argent Squall. Oh, Golden Spellbreaker. I can make good use out of that. I use Spellbreaker in a lot of decks, so it's a potentially extraordinarily valuable card. Our rare in this case is Blizzard, which I don't actually know if I had. So it deals 2 damage to all enemy minions and freezes all enemy minions, which is basically like skip a turn for the enemy, except for spellcasting and summoning their own creatures. And our epic is Murloc War Leader. All other Murlocs have +2/+1. So again, we could probably build a Murloc deck at this point. Beautiful. Let's continue onwards. We still have 16 packs to go. Looking like this is going to be about the same amount of time as the first video of these. I like doing these videos as well, because, you know, you really get a chance to see some cards that don't show up all the time. And Kirin Tor Mage, again, very good in a Mage Secret deck. That might be the first one of those that I've gotten. I can't remember. I'll check out my collection afterwards, off camera, but, you know, there's a lot of cards to keep track of. Oh, we do have another Golden Flesh-Eating Ghoul. And, truth be told, I like Flesh-Eating Ghoul a lot as well, and because it's golden, I'll probably be more likely to use it in a deck. Golden cards have increased value if you want to disenchant them, and additionally, they also have animations associated with them. Savagery. Deal damage equal to your hero's attack to a minion. This is weird. I guess it's really good if you use it in conjunction with something like Swipe, which gives you like +4 attack on your hero. But druids don't have weapons, right? They do have the hero power that allows them to get 1 damage, but, you know, 1 mana for 1 damage is not great. There's got to be situations that's more useful that I have not considered. Anyway, let's see what we've got in this pack right here. There is 1 rare and 4 other cards. Oh, Flame Imp. The more imps I get, the better. And Explosive Trap is such a good hunter card as well, even though it's a common. Another Ancient Mage. You know, could be worse. I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, 28 rares is what I have myself at right now, which is probably not correct. Oh, that is a legendary, yo. Let's open everything else first. Okay, lots of hunter cards. I like all of those, actually, except Freezing Trap's not so great. But our legendary. It is Ragnaros the Fire Lord. Are you kidding me? It's the second of the same. Well, we'll keep it because it would be great to have 2 of these in a deck just for shits and giggles. But it sucks that our second legendary is the same as the first one that we got. I don't know how many legendaries are in the game. It might be like 10 to 12. So the odds of that not great, but still, that's funny. Sure, more pirate cards. I can eventually use those. I like all these cards except Mogushan Warden, which can be good in a priest deck to like with Mogushan Warden. For 5 mana, you play this, and then Inner Fire gives you 7/7 because it gives you the same attack as your health. So you can make this creature pretty nasty, but apart from that, I don't really like it. Mortal Strike. Deal 4 damage. If your hero has 12 or less health, deal 6 damage instead. 4 mana for 4 damage. All right. 4 mana for 6 damage. Pretty good to take out a big minion or... oh, I didn't know that was a rare. So we have 2 rares in this deck. Holy Wrath. Draw a card and deal damage equal to its cost. I know, that's a terrible card. I don't like it. It's 5 mana for a gamble. So, you know, if you have a deck that is, like, predominantly focused on the early game, maybe you pay 5 mana and you draw a 2 mana card, and then, you know, 5 mana for 2 damage is absolutely awful. Of course, it could go the other way. You could get 5 mana for 10 damage, but it's exceptionally unlikely. Because how many, like... 6, 7, 8, and 9 cards. To get value for this, I'd assume that you'd probably like to have 5 and above. How many cards 5 and above in your deck do you have? Maybe like 1 in 3? I don't like Holy Wrath, basically. I hate Wisp, though. Our rare card here is Nourish, which is something we've seen many times before. We are in the back 25% of this right at this point. So obviously I'm hoping for, you know, more legendaries. Fuck it, give me another... Ragnaros the Fire Lord at this point. I like some of these cards. Naturalize is an interesting one. And our rare is Master of Disguise. Give a friendly minion stealth. I think this can be useful. I don't play enough Rogue, but I have had this card screw me in the past, so that's potentially pretty valuable. We'll start flipping these over, and hopefully we get a golden. Cold Master is really good. I like Lightning Bolt. I don't like Ice Barrier. Harvest Golem's really good. Questing Adventurer can be amazing as well. In the right situation, which I have never really found because that card gets focused down so early when it comes out. Okay, we have an epic, and that's it. Maybe a golden? No. Maybe a golden epic, though. It is Molten Giant, which I don't really like, but that's fine. We have 7 more packs to go. Let's crack this one open and see if we get anything of value. I mean, value's relative because I can't actually, like, sell this for money. But I can get ego out of it if I actually build a deck that does better than 50-50, which is pretty rare. Out of all these cards, I don't think I've seen... Oh, I've seen Wrath before. Deal 3 damage to a minion or 1 damage and draw a card. 2 mana for 1 damage and card draw, assuming that kills a minion or allows you to kill a minion, could be pretty useful. Inner Rage for 0 mana can be useful. Siphon Soul is basically like a more expensive and slightly better Assassinate card that also gives you 3 health. I don't know. It's not my favorite pack that we've gotten so far, but it could potentially provide some use. What about 2 rares? 2 more rares in this one. I have totally fucked up my rare count, but I think everything else is fairly good. I thought maybe we'd get 3 lightning bolts there. Unleash the Hounds I don't really like, but it can be nice on like a turn 3. Let's say you play like... you're going second. You play... not Direwolf Alpha, Timberwolf on your first turn. So that's a 1/1 beast, and it also gives all other minions like +1 attack, or all other beasts +1 attack. Then turn 2, you coin, and then like River Crocolisk, Unleash the Hounds, and then all of a sudden you're dealing like 10 damage on your first turn, or second turn, I should say. Anyway, rare number 1, Bloodsail Corsair, another pirate card. I don't really like it, but if you're going to build a pirate deck, it could be useful. And a golden rare, Manatide Totem. I really like, one rare. I really like Manatide Totem. It usually gets focused as soon as it goes out, but I like it a lot nonetheless. And so getting a golden one of those is quite nice. I think I only have one of those as well, so got another epic here and another rare. And we've gotten 6 golden so far, which I think is better than we did last time. Oh, we have another golden actually for Warlock, so that's a golden common. Power Overwhelming is really interesting, though. For 1 mana, you give a friendly minion +4/+4 until the end of the turn, and then it dies. But you can use this along with a card called Void Terror, and so you can Power Overwhelming a unit, then Void Terror like sucks up the friendly units adjacent to it, and you keep the +4/+4 buff, and it doesn't actually cause Void Terror to die, which can be very interesting. So our rare here is another Knife Juggler. I think that's our 3rd Knife Juggler, which is not important, I guess, anymore. And Blood Knight's interesting. If you build, the only time I've ever really seen Blood Knight done well, or used well, is in a Paladin deck which was focused on Divine Shield. There's a lot of Divine Shield cards that Paladin can use, and a lot of, you know, either Paladin-specific minions or completely common minions that can be used by all classes that have Divine Shield. So you just play a bunch of those, then you send out Blood Knight, and all of a sudden you get +3/+3 for each Divine Shield lost, which can make this like a 3-mana 9/9 maybe in ideal situations. So it's a little scary, but obviously it's very situational as well. All right, 4 more packs. Please give me some legendaries. We have another epic, which is good news. Mana Worm. I like having a second Mana Worm for sure. This can be very useful in a mage deck, as I've said many, many times so far. South Sea Captain, again, that's our pirate buff. And I have us listed at 40 rares. That could be closer to accurate now that I think about it. And maybe I've got to build a pirate and a Murloc deck at some point here. Okay, there's 1 rare, and maybe some goldens if we get lucky. Okay, of course we get another Mana Worm. Our rare, though, is Master Swordsmith, which can be useful. Gives a friendly minion +1 attack after each turn. It's kind of like Young Priestess, which gives health instead. But again, this is more damage focused instead. All right, 2 rares on this one. And rare 1 is Ancient Watcher. Fantastic. I already got a golden one of those. And our other one is Arcane Golem. I already have many of those as well. And we come to our final pack. And please, a legendary would be beautiful to avoid having 2 of the same one. What do we... Okay, we have 1 rare. Oh, we got 2 goldens, though, which is crazy. So that's 1 common and 1 also common. I really like Harvest Golem. Soul of the Forest actually can be useful as well, in my Druid decks at least. I've not really played a Druid outside of Arena, but in Arena I usually take Soul of the Forest, because if you have like, if you have board control and you have a lot of minions on the field, this is basically give every minion a 2/2 Death Rattle, which is nuts. If they wipe your board, you still have like 2/2 all over the board afterwards. And Armor Smith, which is pretty good. So let's tally this up. Rares, we have 20... 43 rares by my estimation, 7 epics, 2 legendaries, which were exactly the same, and then for goldens we have 3 golden rares and 6 common rares. That's gonna do it. As always, I hope you guys, I guess we might as well disenchant the cards that we were able to disenchant. Disenchant extra cards for 1,300 Arcane Dust. Good God. In fact, we disenchant 1 legendary. I mean, I guess I will to get the Arcane Dust. I don't want to have more legendaries than I can actually put, or, yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, you can only have 1 legendary in each deck, so we'll disenchant then. Cool. We should, if you disenchant a legendary, I believe you can make, like, any epic you want. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the episode. I know that some people are weirdly into these pack opening videos, myself included. I watch a ton of them. If you liked it, make sure to click the like button. It does help me out a lot. Subscribe if you want to see more Hearthstone videos. I'll probably be doing some more constructed play at some point, but I'm going to continue the Arena series, of course, and maybe I'll do more pack opening videos in the future. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I will see you next time.